Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Trade the Pool live stream. Look who's back. Michael's back in the house, as so
How's
is
it going?
Mitch. How you all doing?
Ready to
Doing
get
good.
after it.
Yeah,
All right.
let's go.
Cool. Right, get them tickets in the chat. Nolly's on already. We'll be back straight after this. All right, how are we doing? Welcome back, Michael. Good to see you.
Thanks so much. Thanks. Happy to be here. How's it going, everybody in the chat? Good morning.
Oh, good, Tiny
Good
T.
morning.
Nolly's in there straight away. What else we go off first with, Mitch? Do we have a look at a couple of the small caps and then get into it, or you want to go with some overall?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do a little small caps, then we'll get into the overall market. Of course, we're going to be even taking a look into what could possibly be happening with Apple coming up. Of course, big earnings week. It's been a lot of earnings out there. But Scott, what are we seeing in the small caps today?
Not too much, but we've got a couple of cannabis stocks on the go again. Let's get that up. Cheers. And Tilray last night, we saw this yesterday going into the close. I was coming into a benchmark there, and it rejected off there quite nicely, but it's still holding kind of 50% of its top range there. I have its buy side liquidity pool, but that's more resting. We don't know that it's gonna come down there yet to $2. But what we do know, benchmarks the way they kind of usually happen. They can get that initial push, but if they break and close above, then we can push up above this, and this could go, basically the same amount again. So if we've already gone from 180 up there to 250, we can double that again and hit 70 cents above that. But we'll see what we get on the open on Tilray. And IMCC is the other one as well. That's also done a benchmark coincidentally at the minute, coming off of that. Again, in the post-market, we've retested that this morning in the pre-market. And I think, let's just draw that in. Yeah, so that's what, let's get those trend lines off. Yeah, so that's where we're sitting at the moment. So again, same thing, the key level up here on the if we're going to go further up, is we've got to get up above that 160 zone. And then I'll see what we've got to the downside here. Drawing wrong colors on, but not to worry. But to the downside, if we've got a liquidity pool and we want to come down and grab it, I'll be listening out for this, of course, on the tape as it comes in. But we're down there at literally around $1 at the moment on IMCC. One more on there is Pally, which we have already seen previously, I think. So it's wondering whether this is a continuation. Where was we a couple of days back? Let's zoom back. Okay, yeah. So a few days ago, we've had a few attempts at this level. So bring this a benchmark over here. So there was the gap between, that accumulation at the bottom, and then we've pushed, then we've pulled back, and then we've pushed again. So this is the third time we have attempted this benchmark. There's still gap up there and room up there to $12, 12 kind of 50 area. So we'll see where that pulls back today. Again, looking at it on a smaller time frame, the buy zone currently from pre-market would be $7, around $7 there. So again, we'll be looking to see if we get any action on the tape as we pull into that. So that's the three small caps I've got on wash at the moment. But get your tickers in there. So we've got on there Steve, good morning. Taquito's in there nice and early with his tickers. We'll take a look at those. Mitch, what you got?
All right, let's of course talk about some of the major market today. Of course, we'll be looking at what happened with the earnings play also overnight and this morning. Of course, AMD getting whacked, so we'll see what happens with that. But it wasn't the worst reports, but definitely a beat here on EPS, a beat on sales, revenues up, concerns when you're seeing gaming down, and of course AI, the biggest focus here. SMCI also taking a little bit of a hit there. We'll see if these can start to bounce back. They're definitely down significantly. We'll see if the buyers can come back into SMCI and AMD. Of course, the big boy that is Amazon also taking a hit, but look at that. Just recently here at around 8:45, a.m. Now starting to get a little bit of a rise. We'll see if Amazon can bounce back and really start to get back above it. In the kind of when the earnings came in, there was a spike to 186. Let's see if we can start working our way back above yesterday's highs. We'll see what happens there. Highs into the 182 range. We'll see if Amazon can make it back. Of course, there was other earnings. There was Starbucks, bunch of housing stocks came in, even Barrick Gold coming in. So we'll see what happens with these stocks to see what happens to the earnings play. On the economic calendar, we do have at 10 a.m., we'll be getting ISM manufacturing and job openings. So we'll try to alert you guys when that comes at 10 a.m. Of course, that could shake up the market overall. If we take a look at the SPY, right now we're down towards the kind of the 501 level. We went down as far down this morning as 499.45. We'll see if the market can start to bounce back. Essentially, been kind of sideways, really. I don't really view this as much weakness. It's kind of a small pullback. We'll see what happens if we get more weakness to come in the day today. Of course, energy led the downside action yesterday. Technology leading the bounce. We'll see if these stocks can remain hot. But on my radar, you already mentioned it, Scott, is a lot of cannabis today. So my top watch is going to be MSOS. And why am I watching this stock? Well, it's an ETF that is available for you guys on Trade the Pool. And there's also the leverage version of this, which is MSOX, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of some leverage plays for my day traders out there. But MSOS, after the DEA doing cannabis rescheduling it from 3 to a 1. And so from 1 to a 3. So this is going to be important because now we got to really start to see if these stocks take off. And a big part of MSOS is that it has the OTC names, the names that you can't trade on the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. They're actually in here with swaps. So that gives us a potential to go after these stocks and look to see them get a lift off of that catalyst. This is going to be one of my top plays to watch today. Big part of me, we're going to be watching to see if we can come back down quickly towards the 1050 and then look for it to get back to pre-market highs. All right, but that's it, at least on my outlook on the market. There's tons of news out there. So let us know also in the chat. What are you guys watching? What do you guys want to hear about? If there's any stock that's moving, you want to find the catalyst, let me know. I'll go do the research for you. Let's get after it. Let's bring a little bit of Michael into this. What's going on? Good morning, Michael.
How's it going, everybody? Good to be here. I'm just watching Taquito just mentioned CTMX. That's a penny stock or a $3 stock.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that was a crazy move. I got a level at 3.5. Let me take the screen for a second. I'll share it with the guys.
You're a changed man. You're a changed man.
Oh, no. I'm just giving the crowd what they like.
Yeah.
So I got CTMX on the chart. You can see a crazy move just the last few minutes. And I got a level at around 3.6, 3.5. We almost reached that. It's a major support coming from 2020. So if we'll reach that during the market time, even if in the next like 15 minutes or so, that could also work. We'll play with the level, short it all the way down, or at least 50%. That's what I'm aiming for. And obviously, all the rest that you already mentioned, AMD, NVIDIA, CVS, Pinterest is also on the line. DJT, Donald Trump Media, also doing some crazy move lately. So definitely I want to follow. And of course, my favorite, NASDAQ. So I'm watching the NASDAQ on a 4H, and we can see it played pretty nicely through the levels. We actually talked about it in the before the opening bell newsletter that we send every Sunday. So for those of you who didn't get it, just sign up through the website. And I marked the levels and said what I'm thinking will happen. Luckily, it did exactly what we wanted. Now we are below this blue line. So as long as we hold in it, it makes sense to me that we will drop. Maybe another tiny push to the upside, taking the levels of the 17,600 and then try to push to this area right here at around 17,000. between the 1700 to the 17200. So that's my aim for, at least for now, watching the market dropping. And if so, we have plenty to work with, AMD and CVS and all of those. So that's what
Michael,
I got here. Yeah.
What did you say you had on CTMX there? I just want to take a quick look and see what I've got as well.
CTMX, I got 350, 360. That's
okay. Well, this, I recognize this. When did we do this? When have we done this before? All right. Okay. So when was this? March. This is what? So that was our benchmark too that we didn't hit in March. So we'll see if that's literally the same. So that's literally the long-term one that's just been sitting there since March. Let's have a look at the pre-market. One sec. So if the pre-market can line up anywhere close. Yeah, okay. So we've got the pre-market aligned with off that first swing, actually post-market, start of pre-market, that swing there. We've got that aligned with the essentially the daily one as well. So yeah, it's a big benchmark. We'll look out for that. But if it breaks above, then same again. It could you could go supernova on this one, because if looking back on that time frame, it literally could do the 160. It could do that whole move again on top of that. So
I got another level above it at 470, maybe all the way to the 5. So like 30 cents for that. For the next level, if we'll break the 3.6 from here, we're getting closer to that 3.6. I will short it if we will play with it.
Okay, quick look at that Amazon we spoke about yesterday as well, when I was mentioning that it done a similar thing on Meta, and we're still knocking our head on that level here, right? So it rejected off it last night, and I was thinking, oh, really? It's going to do it again. So it did really whipsaw off it, but it's not really managed to gain that momentum coming away from it. So from that whipsaw high that it done to that whipsaw low, we're putting in that almost same top, if you like. So again, if we break that 185, 186 level and close above, could see more upside. If not, interesting to see what happens up here at the 184 level.
What do you think about Apple? Are we going to see some down move, or what's going on?
Well, it's definitely going to be interesting. I know that a lot of people will be watching, of course, earnings coming out, right? And a lot of that focus is going to be on China. Right? What do they say about China? What's going on there? China revenue expected to be at 16.6 billion, indicating a 6.7 decline. So that's where the trouble is, right? We've heard about that even earlier in the week with an analyst rating, but it was a positive towards China earlier this week. So that's where the mixed noise is coming from. What are the charts saying? What are you seeing there, Scott?
Well, Apple I've just got coming in, same as the others, into that sell side as we approach and rejecting off it yesterday, of course, as we approach the earnings. Buy side on this is going to be, so this one was the last one that didn't catch a pullback. Oh, yeah, so not a lot to say. We're trapped in between the two. It's going to be which one breaks, I think. There's going to be one more in there off of that pullback, assuming the previous one works. So this is going to be your buy side down there at kind of 169. Sell side up there around 175. So this one would have, this one ticked in. So we're going to go with this high now to the lows of post-market. So the first one to break then is going to have to be 170. It's going to be 174 to get any higher from that. So technically, we'll see what we do, whether that's just going to bounce between on the actual report coming out or not.
Yeah. So I got to share my chart on Apple. Actually, it's not my chart, but a weekly chart for Apple. I mean, look at something super cool, the 200 EMA, right? The green line. You can see it on a weekly chart. So you can see how it worked perfectly the last few years, basically. We're talking about, 2019, then a perfect support on 16, and even before that on 2013. and it almost touched it like on 2022, and now it will be super interesting to see where we gap in. Obviously, gapping up, it won't be relevant, but gapping down, definitely watch this 200 EMA. In most cases, when an EMA or when an indicator or a trend line worked before, but we didn't touch it for quite a while, for like, let's say on the weekly chart for a few years, in most cases, when we will test it again, you will see a bounce from it first. So if, let's say, we will open with a gap down and we will play with this area, you can expect a bounce, especially at least for intraday bounce, before the extra drop will come. And the other option will be gapping down below the 200 EMA. That's a big gap, obviously. I doubt that we will see that, but gapping down below, pushing higher to that 200 EMA will be a resistance, and from there you can try to short it. So you can play with this 200 EMA. Makes sense to me that if we will see the price touching it, we will see the bounce first. This is something that, something that repeats itself over and over again when you see it on many charts throughout the years. When an EMA played out before and it took a break from it and now reaching again, it will react to it first and then maybe continue to the other side or whatever. But first, it will react to that. You can see it also with trend lines. Many years I traded just like that, waiting for the right place to hit, just buy the dip on a trend line.
Yeah, I like the outlook for sure. Sometimes simple works, right, Michael? It does, and
all the time. What do you mean sometimes?
Especially for the newer traders, right? Don't think 50 different things. Sometimes just finding one thing that can work for you, that you can repeat and use, can be definitely the best way to go about it. Interesting to look at there on Apple. I mean, it was there before, right? We might make it back down.
It's a big get down, though.
Yeah. I don't expect it in one day, but just let's say if it starts to get towards the 160, I don't think the buyers are going to be too happy. So we'll see when it starts to flush through those levels. Pally is definitely on my list, Scott, as we get closer to the bell here. Definitely going to be watching that one. I can show you guys a little bit more of the setup that I'm looking at on that one. Of course, the daily chart, you can see this stock has a tendency of spiking and dropping. So that's one thing to always keep in mind with these smaller names. But I play this play sometimes called the rule of three. Okay, and I'll explain it really quickly here. I already drawn it out for you guys. So the way it works is 3 resistance test, 3 support test, and at that point the levels are defined and we can look for the next wave to be that breakout attempt. So in this case, Pally had to drive first, right? Resistance 1 comes up here towards, let's say, 995 on the high. Then we go and we make support 1. Now I have like 1 or 2 levels to go off of, right? I want to see the price consolidate between there and start to build on the volume as we go towards the breakout, right? So declining volume, consolidation, breakout. So first resistance, first support, second resistance, second support, third resistance. As we start to come into this space right here, now we're going to look for one more wave down to create that nice support. I'm going to look for like that fake out towards the 8 and then a recovery coming back up through that 850 range for the breakout, going towards 9 and 950. This is what I use for flag patterns. I use this for wedge. And sometimes you can make more attempts to the support, but the idea is to have levels to go off of to maybe even build a position. We'll see what happens here in Pally. This is my famous rule of 3, probably the only strategy I can ever tell you guys. I've had a little bit of that aha moment sometimes and be like, this works, right? We're all looking for some edge and always willing to share strategies with you guys. Let us know if you guys have any strategies that you guys use that you guys want to talk about. We could also kind of review that throughout the show.
Yes.
All right. So what else? We've got Trader Life is in the house. Scotty C, good morning to you. Taquito Trades thinks it's going to $4. We'll see if that happens to Keto. What are your levels on SBUX? SBUX. Let's take a
Starbucks life, the Starbucks. Who's getting their coffee this morning?
No one, probably.
Oh man, at least it looks like nobody.
We were saying that the only reason I was watching something last night on that release where people were saying it's not actually the coffee people like, it's going to get the coffee or spending a bit of time in there with their
true.
friends and that they
Yeah,
the
it's
coffee,
the experience, right?
they
You
can take it
getting
or
out
leave
the
it.
house.
Yeah,
Exactly.
The same thing is for the gym sometimes, right?
The what?
The gym. I feel like the gym's like that sometimes too. They're just there for the show. It's like, are you guys here to work out?
The direct debit that you will use at some point. And so sell side on Starbucks, I've got up here at 86. I'm gonna have to go ways back, I think, to look to see where we've crashed through at the moment. Wow. We're back on the daily. So this would have touched. Let's see if we got there onto this swing. Yeah, we're below that. This was the last one to hold and correct. So all the way to the top. Okay, so we're in the buy side. It's super wide. There'll be a more defined one when I just take that first swing low. But this is the area that it's kind of got down to at the moment. It's a wide one. It's not going to help us today on a day trade, really. There are the three levels. It's touched into one. See if we've got anything else that I can go on less than the daily. No, nothing there. We're right at the bottom of that on the pre-market. So the next one for that then would be the initial swing for me. So everything works out from that initial swing. So we had that in right back here. So that was the level we had there. So that's the gap for me now then, is that initial swing that we had. That we have already kind of used this to its entirety, but that is the gap that I see at the moment in any case, which looks like that. So it's whether or not, I think we're getting up there today either. So it's whether or not we might have a little pop and then continue this trend down for Starbucks.
All right, just to add on the Starbucks there, I just wanted to bring in, of course, they had their earnings, right? That's why they're getting hit. But same store sales decreased 3% as traffic sank 7%. I think one of the most important part is what we kind of talked about Apple, right? Is the exposure to China. It's the second largest market, of course, and same stores sales plunged 11% in China. So a lot of focus going towards the China for Starbucks. And you can see it. They're definitely struggling there, and China overall struggling. That definitely affects companies with big exposure to them. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about when it comes to the earnings season, there is always one strategy that is very known for most traders, right? Mm-hmm. That's the reversal gap strategy. So maybe let's talk a little bit about that. We can add some. So at least what I'm doing in most cases is to look for that gap down. So for example, on Starbucks, you can see a crazy gap down. That's great. Obviously, mark the levels and all. We will keep it short right now. But technically, you will mark the levels. In most cases, after a major gap down, there will be a bounce, right? Because there are guys that took long here a day before. And basically, right now, what they're doing is buying more because they're averaging down their position. So they took a loss, but instead of taking that loss, they actually buying more at the bottom. So they're trying to average the price. And the other guys that took short a day before actually made money right now. So they basically closing that position, that short position. So in most cases, after a major gap down, you will see first a bounce up because a lot of the people are buying, either closing the short side or buying to average down the position. Once it's done and everything is settled, then the price will start to decline because something is wrong and the news are bad or whatever it is on the fundamental side. So what we need to do is basically mark the levels that the price should start to decline or basically get resistance from. And once it will, then you look for the tiny consolidation or maybe a candle and start shorting it again all the way to the down of the pre-market. So for example, in Starbucks, one of the options will be wait for a bounce. We need to check where are the levels, like the previous levels that can block the price to continue higher, let's say 80, but we will check it in a second on the hourly chart. And then once you will see some consolidation or a little bit of a price action declining, like buyers are declining, then you go short and look for the downside all the way to the pre-market lows. So let's take Starbucks, for example, on the hourly chart, or maybe even a little bit more. Right now, opening at around 77. Okay, so we need the daily chart on this one. Right. So I'm going back. Doesn't matter how long. Basically, for the last time it touched the price, and I'm trying to see if the price will bounce, as I just mentioned, where it's going to stop. Right. So you can see that we have a level at around. It's not that clean, but between 80 to 81. 81 and a half. So I'll mark that one. So it's actually a little bit higher than that. So it's this one right here at the close of the gap. So we'll mark that and see during the market if the price will play with that area. We can start shorting it from there. Another option is this gap that is still open at around 85. So I'll mark that as well. So these are the two levels that I want to trade from. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I was just in the chat there looking at my earnings plays as well. And Tim's making that the point that I'm showing that as tomorrow on Apple. I know we can still discuss it's only tomorrow, but obviously I don't think that's a release today on Apple. I think that is tomorrow evening.
Not today evening?
I don't think so. I've got it as let's have a quick look here. I've got this as tomorrow.
After market, 5th. Yeah, 2nd. Right, 2nd. You're right. It's not today.
Okay, so still all good analysis, obviously, but it might not actually take effect till tomorrow.
Yeah, one of the things is we might have that whole trying to get run into the earnings too. Sometimes that happens, especially on a day like last night where tech took a tumble, and some outlook going into the morning is probably a little bit negative based off the earnings. That's when a lot of times maybe the bigger buyers can come in and maybe sweep up some Apple. But like we talked about, it's going to be dependent on what comes out of that China and iPhone services, things like that. Like always, trading earnings is, I personally think it's one of the harder plays. I look for kind of little simple setups, but hey, that's how it goes, right? It's not easy in this game. You got to find ways to keep going. What do you got there, Scott?
That's it. I was just saying, you're saying I'm kind of trying to do the least work for the biggest return. But I'm going by relative volume here. So these are the stocks that have released earnings this morning that have got the most relative volume. Relative volume just meaning in comparison to its average, these ones have got twice the average. It's expected from kind of an earnings point of view anyway, but then it's whittling out. If you've got 30 kind of plays that are releasing earnings today, 30 tickers that are releasing earnings today, these are the ones that are currently kind of, could outperform whatever goes on the NASDAQ kind of thing. With that extra relative volume, that means it's not necessarily going to track the benchmark index. So there they are. And I won't go through them all because we're so close to the open, but there they are.
All right, guys, we'll be looking for hourly pullbacks on the MSOS. Pally definitely on my radar, so we'll see what happens there. I would love to see a quick little pullback towards 1050 on MSOS. Definitely willing to take that stock. And then looking around at Pally, looking around at also a mover yesterday, AGBA. That one wasn't a bad move at all, and it's already starting to come back. Looks like kind of a cup and handle pattern here. Maybe we get towards the 350 and pull back. Let's get after it, team. You know what time? It's that time, team. Let's see what trading is out there. And, of course, let us know if you guys see a big mover. We'll make sure to take a look at it. Let's see what we can come up with today.
All right.
All right, looking at Pally out the gates here.
It's time.
It is time. We'll see what happens out the gates here.
I like that.
Oh, for sure. It gets you pumped up, right? I mean, I'm sure it does to the fighters. We're all fighters out here trying to make it, right? You let us know how it's going out there, team. Hit the like button. Let's get after it.
Pally's giving us that initial push down.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking to see if we can start to curl here. And I can use that 760, at least from pre-market.
Just going to switch that tape on. It just goes crazy on the open,
All
so
right.
I'll just give it a couple of minutes.
I just took Pally there, guys. I just grabbed 798 there, already to 820s on the offer. So let's see if we can really get this going. Just took 50 shares, nothing crazy. Just wanted to go with my pre-market analysis, right? Now that we're recovering 8, would really want to see like kind of 790s hold on pullbacks. Take out the 850s. I can take out half there and then let the remainder start to run. All right, there we go. Nice little first opening bounce there. It's 835s now. Let's go ahead and just put 845s limit for the sell on this first little piece. And then I'm going to look for the real breakout that could go to 9 and 950. But really would like to sell the first piece, get a little bit of some profit, make sure I hit a little bit of a stop there, and then keep going. We'll see what happens.
Nice entry off the open there, Mitch.
Oh, yeah, not too bad.
Still looking at the CTMX. So trying to push to the 3.6. Hopefully it will do that, and I'll short it from the top. CTMX.
All right, 833s on the offer for Pally. We'll see what happens there, Michael. See if you can be able to nail one down today. Like always, guys, hit the like button, hit the share, and let some more traders know. We're live every single day, guys. We're here for you guys. Hit the like button, hit the share, let them know. And if you guys definitely tag me up on Twitter, I'm going to be kind of working in and getting some extra trade net gear, trade the pool gear for you guys. And I'm going to be doing a giveaway of my own. So just keep definitely giving us a good follow, hit the share button, tag me up, hit me up on Twitter whenever you guys got a trade idea, even after hours. I'll definitely reach back to you. All right. Can cancel for right now that 845. Just want to see the next little push come in here.
Nice move on AMD.
Oh,
AMD.
IMCC. Sorry, man. IMCC just hitting on the tape straight out of that buy side. I was just looking at this thinking to myself, wow, that looks like it's come a long way from where it was all the way down here, but it's just hit the tape coming out of that buy side. So keep an eye on IMCC here as well. CTMX dropping off of its high. It's kind of what did it make? 350? Yeah, 350 highs. You in that, Michael?
No, I want to see 3.6. Hopefully I didn't miss it.
Pally coming straight down there, right off of my stop level now. So just watching it here as it comes down towards the 760s. Definitely don't want to see this close below that.
Okay. That was quick.
I like AMD.
CTMX.
AMD looks great. I mean, I'll share my screen for a second.
I'll put you up there.
Thanks.
There you go.
So AMD looks pretty good on the hourly chart. Broke that support. Now testing it. We got another level at around 141 area. So, and we already closed that gap from 2024 at the beginning of the year. So technically, if we will try to do a reverse on this area, we can try to short it. And if so, it could be a nice one all the way down. So I'll keep an eye on that one.
All right, waiting for that pullback on CTMX to see if we got it. Let's have a quick look. CTMX.
Are you looking to short it that also?
I am, but I didn't think it had given me the kind of textbook thing, that I was looking for, but it kind of did. Like literally, it was so quick. But yeah, that little pullback there that it failed to get above, and it's come off hard quick. So what I'm just hoping for now is that we actually get a retest of that given this level, right? And if this level busts, then I think I've missed it. But we'll see. Hopefully we can get up to either a retest or a new high up there off this buy side. How's Pally doing on here?
Fighting on that support of 760 pre-market. There was a level on the left-hand side there. Trying to see if it can hold that and get back through 8. Definitely close below 750s is the kind of that starts to wash out. We'll see if it starts to come back through 8.
You got to stop on that? Because I'm kind of looking to get in just a little bit kind of lower, 720s. You're gonna work into that?
Yeah, my idea would be 748s here. If it starts to break the 750s, I gotta go. But
okay. Let me help you. Let me help you on this one.
Please do.
It's not, it's called PAL, right? PAL.
PAL.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, you get me.
You know how it is, man, with the nicknames and the stocks. Yeah. I'm just glad I'm not a stock, because I'm sure they'd have some nicknames on me.
Money Mitch, obviously.
You know it, man. You know it. The Tesla Dragon. How's the Tesla Dragon?
Yeah.
That's the beast of a stock, man. When I trade that thing and I trade it well, I'm like, man, tame the dragon today. All right, Pally finally started to do that like kind of little curl here. So at this point, if it can get back above 8, I'm just going to go ahead and set a stop at like kind of the 760. But just need to see it get back above 8. Buyers came in really quickly. It got towards like 830s and then just didn't want to do the takeoff.
So I'm looking for extra levels on Starbucks. It continued to drop, not doing the bounce. So I'm looking for a place where I can find some stop here and maybe try to catch the bottom. Not super clean, as in most cases, I prefer them more cleaner than this.
All right, if I take a look overall to sectors wise, healthcare leading, utilities and financial services behind that, and that's out the gates, of course. Energy in the red, technology just slightly almost break even. So healthcare and utilities leading the way right now. Utilities definitely on my radar. I've been talking about that for multiple days. XLU is one way to maybe take a look at that.
Mitch, what you got going on the marijuana side of things on that ETF you mentioned?
Yeah, MSOS has been pulling back for right now. There's the spike on Pally. Now we're starting to move. Let's go. Come on. Get that motor going. There you go. 820s now. There you go. 830s, 840s. There we go. Now we're starting to make that move.
Right, Pally's on the tape now. Pally's on the tape now. So if you can get that 860, yep. If you can get that break of 860 now, we should see that money come in. Let's see what it does. It just ticked into it on about 825.
Looking for the 840s to show up on the bid to go ahead and take some off here. Just struggling in that range right there. There's definitely some heavy selling into the 830s. So it just won't get through that for right now. I'm looking to see if it gets taken out. It's probably around the 833 level where you're seeing that struggle. So yeah, it's struggled multiple times in that 830 range. So definitely running into a little bit of some selling pressure. Let's see if it can clear the 850.
Wilson, Hanish, good morning. How you doing? What you got on today? Trader Life, what you looking at? You're always looking at a good one. Another all-day fade for you yesterday, wasn't it, on your stock?
All day fades. Those are always pretty.
Just looking over at TGT, I just looking at on that earnings play. Like I said, that one with the biggest relative volume that we had, TGTX on there, putting a beautiful little head and shoulders at the top into that sell side pool there, just dropping off it now. It's hit straight into its kind of 200 EMA at the moment, just on the 1 minute. But let's see what we've got on that. I don't know whether, I'm guessing, oh, stay still. I'm guessing that this is going to be into the, that would have been my confirmation right there at the open, I feel, on this one. I'd be lucky to get it again. But 1750 to 1760 at the moment on that one. Just keep an eye on TGTX.
All right, guys, this was able to sell there about half there at the 38 spot there for Pally. So at least taking a little bit of a profit today. Now at this point, really starting to let the trade just work for me. Still got about 25 shares left there, 798, it's in the 840s. Now just trying to let it go. I'll set a stop at break even and look for the breakout towards 9.
One shout on the tape. Needs more. Come on.
Nice one, Dave. Yeah, Starbucks continue to drop. We'll see what we can do with that. I'm watching it.
What we need to do is we need to make a really good trade on Starbucks, Michael, and then we need to order some Starbucks. And I'll get it delivered. I'll bring it on screen and everything. Let's get it. Let's get it, guys. Let's go earn our coffee.
They should give us some free coffee, right?
860s on Pally. Let's go.
Paddy on the tape again.
Trying to give us something at least.
Here we go. Come on. Get a pop from this now. You can get a pop from this.
There we go. 870s. See if we can get to the 890s. Willing to take some off there and just get out, take the first little trade. And sometimes it's just really good to get that confidence back in. 875s. Looking for one more little spike here, and then I'm going to sell out.
Come on, give it to him.
We missed that trade on CTMX, huh?
Yeah, it's done. Just broke through that. Just at the bottom of that buy side now.
Nice one.
Yeah, I missed this one by about 12 cents for me, unfortunately, but at least one of us got it. I want the pop. It's gone quiet on the tape, but I want that pop. I want that pop for you, Mitch.
Yeah, man, it's right on that verge right there. I'm at that point where it's like, well, if it can hold the trend line here, it just did that, like that 850 test, and then just held the trend line and then bounced. That's not a bad look, right? As long as it can bounce there.
Here we go now. It's back on, mate.
There we go.
Come on.
Orders out at 85s right now. Can I get it? Just a little pop fill here. Let you guys know if I get out there. We cancel it for just a second here and then kind of reassessed here on the out level. $870s, $878s for the $880s to show up there on the bid. 85s on the offer. There we go. Now we're getting there. There we go. Boom. Right there, guys. Out. Let's go. Let's take it, guys. 798 towards a top fill order at 81s, 881. So about 82 cents on that. 83 cents. Not too bad. Not too bad to start the day. Let's go.
Here we go.
Nice, man. Nice.
Money, Mitch.
Yeah. Getting after it, guys. That's what it's all about, guys. And like always, we're going to be here setting up pre-market setups. And I think that this is the important part of this, is that we were talking about this in the pre-market. We went about it in different ways, the ways that Scott's looking at it, the way I'm looking at it. I think that's important. Definitely hit the like. Let us know what you guys think. All right, so now I'd be looking for a quick decline later on in the day towards maybe like 8 or 820s, and then I can maybe get back into this name. Sometimes I like to do that, like sell, give myself a nice cushion on the day, then go play some more. All right, let me go now to MSOS where I'm looking for hourly pullbacks, right? You can see how we're going towards this 1050 area. That's kind of the area that I was looking for us to kind of bottom out on the day and then eventually start working back. So I'm going to look to see if we can get some sideways consolidation there, maybe between 1050s and going down there towards even, what's this level right here? So we got 1038. So somewhere between there, starting to balance out, then going sideways. I'll kick it to you guys. What are you guys seeing in the market?
Oh, definitely a bit of FOMO on Pally there, just waiting for that. Too late on that 757. Just wanted to tap into 734. It looked like I was going to get it straight there, but yeah, it was just a little fake out of that entry. And again, that entry that was talked about many times on stream is that original color change that you get, and you normally get it twice around those moving averages. Oh, better watch what I'm drawing there. And yeah, that was almost identically. You hit the button almost on that first entry there, and I was like, that is going, but then run into that sell side. Just wanted that dip down, but didn't get it. Same CTMX as well. Double, triple top into that benchmark. I said before, think I'd missed it with that tap in 338 that just couldn't get any higher there, and back down off to 274 already. So yeah, I'm sitting on hands at the moment. TGTX. I've just, don't tell me, TGTX. That's
been kind of fading down, right?
Yeah, I was seeing if there was I was either looking for a bit more of a pullback up there to again 1722, or the momentum play, which is just confirmed at 759. Never mind. We'll keep looking over here on my side.
AMD getting stronger now. I'm going to take a look at some of the bigger boys. I'm also taking a look at maybe potentially doing a little bit of a swing on that MSOS after the 1050s, but that's just to keep you guys involved in that trade idea. AMD, nice little push there to 151. Let's take a look at the Qs to see how this is affecting the Qs also. Let's go to the 1 minute here. You guys can see, let's see if we can start taking like the 423.25s and then the 423.50s. Once that really starts to make that drive, I'm looking to see if Apple can also make a move too. You can see how it's starting to make that little lift. We're looking at to see if we can get a push. SMCI on the radar, especially if AMD is going to keep ripping up to the upside, and some tech names starting to catch a little bit of a bounce after a little bit of a wash from the earnings. All right, so Coin mentioned in the chat. I haven't taken a look at Coin in a while. I know that Bitcoin was down this morning, but nice little move there, and Coin starting to lift. It can Riot lift also. I know that was one of the stocks we were watching. It is bouncing there. We'll see if it's able to hold that 10, and let's keep it going, team. Let's try to find some good trades. Pally kind of hanging out there. Now it's starting to pull back a little bit. Got up there towards the 9, so not a bad little sell area that I was trying to get towards. 890s, 9. Now would look for the pullback. I'm going to look for like kind of the 825 and then maybe a recovery there. There's the quick move to 830s. We'll see what happens there. If it can get into this space here, the 825s, that's when I could see maybe some reload come in near the 8.
Got it.
I'm looking at
go ahead. I was just going to say, Michael, keep an eye on CTMX. It's having looks like it's
another push.
Yeah.
I'm also watching SQ. So SQ looks pretty good for me. It gap down also, nice move. We need to check what happened. It's not earnings as I see it. Do you know, Mitch, what's going on with SQ?
Yeah, so SQ is also getting hit off of the PayPal. PayPal did have a nice little jump yesterday, but then just got washed out at the open and has been coming down this morning. So that's one that I definitely look at, and that was a pretty good spike there to 70. So I'm looking to see when buyers could step back into PayPal and maybe they come back also for Square.
Right. So I'm looking for the downside.
That's good to know, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's why I said I'd be looking to see when buyers come in to PayPal first. Then I'd go maybe start taking a look at Square, because if they're washing out the industry, well, there you have it, right? That's what I like to look at a lot of the times, Michael, is the relationship plays.
100%.
It's all about relationships with me. And I'm looking at like, how does one stock that's a leader maybe affect a laggard in that industry, right? Because sometimes you're going to have your leader that just moves the stocks, right? And just owns. And that's a lot of the algorithmic volume, right? There's that quick spike on Pally. It did get towards the 825s. It got towards 818 actually. So let's see if it starts to recover now and then take that next move. I would look for another, I'm looking for like kind of 810s, $8. If it can just do a quick little spike down and recover that, I'll take another shot in Pally.
Nice one. So I'm going to short the SQ here, just start in and then add more as it continue. Basically, the idea is this. I want to see it drop all the way to the 65 area. Obviously, before that, I would appreciate if it could bounce first up all the way to the area of the 70s. This is why I'm starting small and building my position, because I can give myself or give the trade the option to actually work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm entering here with only 200 shares and the loss that I'm willing to take is much higher, I can add more to my position at around the 70s, also 200 EMA on the 1 minute, and then try to see the drop. And the area I'm looking for is basically around the 65, 66 area, but not obviously not from here. If it will drop just like that, it won't mean a thing because only with 200 shares right now. So I will wait for it to bounce, add more until we'll get to that level. Strong support area coming from the historical times of the close of the gap, basically, of the beginning of the year. So like 3 months or so. That's what I'm aiming for. We'll keep an eye.
Pally just flushed there. I think we've got a halt on our hands. Pally halted down there, 772 on the halt at 52 minutes past 21 seconds. So 5 minutes onto that should see the resume of that stock. That's right into well, I don't know whether it's now going to give us anything below that I was waiting for there, about 7.5, but 740s. But it's bang into that, just chasing it up from the upswing that you was in there, Mitch, going up there to kind of $9, coming back down. I'd have expected it to, was looking for that pullback as you were to try and get another entry in here. But let's see if that, you know, people don't like halt downs today. Anyone that's in long does not like a halt down. So let's see the effect that's going to have when it resumes in a few minutes there.
Yeah, Dave, on Starbucks, not the 75 yet. I don't know. I don't have a level at this area right now, so I'll be waiting to see something a little bit more interesting on Starbucks before starting to buy.
Wilson, you got in, Pally? You on the short? Nice. If you are, let us know where you got in, what price. And Taquito, you're looking at IMCC. Let's have a look. Thank you. I did not come back to that in a minute. Let's have a look.
So I'm over here taking a swing trade. I'll tell you guys all about it in just a second. Keep it going, Scott.
Yeah, so we're just working out. I do not have this one calling out on the tape, but you can't argue that it is moving up out of that level. So I'll just put the so I'm going to ignore that switch on. I'm going to go with this one. It is a kind of steady grind down there, so it's going to be quite low. This one, it's going to be coming in around 130, 139. So don't let it put you off, Taquito. If you're in this long, you know, just check out the price action when it gets up to that level. It's, you know, remember if these levels pop, you can go straight up there to 150. But it's just on the short side. I use that as my kind of comfort blanket. But if you're long, you know, don't let it put you off your trade. Just it's just sitting there. That's all. Mitch.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's talk a little bit about my swing trade that I have on. I just grabbed MS UOS. I've talked about this trade. I want to go ahead and try to get it on the kind of the retrace here. And I'll also show you guys a little bit of some different approach, right? So one way that I can look at this is I can use a daily retracement, right? So I use kind of like the pre-market level, looking for retracements towards around 50%. That's right in this area, right? So this is kind of the area where I'm starting to look to try to build some of this swing trade. And a lot of that is based on the news that's out there. So looking for retracement levels where day traders sometimes get washed out the open, and then the swing traders are buying that dip, looking for it to swing back towards the end of the day. A lot of this will depend on how the end of the day goes. So like always, you guys can keep up with me. But just a starter on, and I have 2 more buy orders towards 1020 and 1005. And then the perspective would be there to start doing a stop below 10 and looking for this to come back through 11 on the day. And that's going to give me confidence that it was just kind of that morning washout. That's a swing, guys. We're going to take some swing trades here too. I'm looking forward to taking more of those. I really love taking swing trades. Let us know, guys, if you do swing
SQ dropped nicely. Yeah.
CTMX.
Definitely let us know. What's that?
CTMX back up there. Taquito
Yeah,
Trace
yeah.
has posted that, yeah.
I don't know.
Looking for cracking those highs now.
Yeah, it looks pretty strong. So we got the low for SQ, and it reached that 66.40. But obviously, like I said, it's not enough because I couldn't add more to the position. It didn't do actually what I wanted it to do. It went through my favor, but I actually wanted it to first bounce against me so I can add more to the position and get a better price. Right now, pushing a little bit higher. If it will retest the 67.50 area, I will add more to the position and then try to see if it can drop and give me that trade. SQ. What about the NASDAQ? Okay, nice.
Yeah, I think it's struggling there. I don't know if is that how you see it, but definitely starting to. I'm even looking at SQQQ, so that's a good perspective.
The SQQQ. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So for me, like on a bigger time frame, I want to see it dropping. That's what I'm looking for right now, or not now specifically. Nvidia started to drop as well. That's good for us. Good major level at around 840 on Nvidia. Ooh, what a pop, CTMX.
$380 is nice.
Yeah. My next one is at 460 area. What do you got there? What is your level, Scott?
So based off of what it's just done right here at 384, like it's got to work through that if it's going to go any higher. Let me just see what I've got, if I've got anything else above it.
Woohoo!
Now I'm going to box on, I think.
Nice one, Canoli.
POAI is on the tape. My life. I'm going to get in a trade in a second. POA, I was just about to say after this that like Pally's resumed as well.
Yeah.
The money seemed to go into POAI as Pally got halted and it started to work out of its... all right, so Pally just kind of opened similar level. So not so negative. It's not flushed off that right down to the 7s. And POAI, we've got this on watch here. POAI has just popped on the tape, working out of that buy side pull down there. But it started coming on the tape as soon as the halt was on for Pally. But let's see what we've got. See if we can get any more on the tape for that. So get on a look, because that's benchmark 1. I've got a 260 on this up here. If it can continue to work out, it's not a bad time for longs on this. If we can get that momentum coming in. CTMX listening out for another push on that.
Looking around, guys. If you guys see any tickers that it's on your radar or something you want to talk about, throw it up in the chat. We'll make sure to catch it.
Taquito, you're still looking at this at Neo's alive, is it? Yeah, it was
Neo. Neo.
And
China
Taquito's still got
Auto.
4 on it. 4 on CTMX for Neo. Let's mark Neo's level in there. Hopefully that's the target. Well,
Yeah. I usually look at all three, right? When I look at Neo, I look at XPEV, I look at LI to see how they're performing, see if the relationship's just all of them kind of going up, or is it just one specifically? Looks like Neo would be the leader today. XPEV not doing too bad, trying to hold $8 on pullbacks, and LI Auto kind of holding the pullback off of the 26. We'll look to see if it makes a run to 27.
all right. I've got just tapped in to the intraday benchmark on Pally here. What have we got here? So just tapped into it there. Oh, I've just showed you, Michael. Bring myself back. Yeah, just tapped it into it there at 514s. Off of the swings from the first swings off the open, off of the pre-market lows. So watch that area. You need to crack that. Otherwise, it's going to want to come back and have a look. Did it come back to that one? Nope. So let's see what it's got on it. Otherwise, that's what we're looking at. Hey. 488 on the top side of that buy side pull, and this guy is the benchmark sitting up there. All right.
Seeing some leaking in retail today, and I mean, like, overall, like retailer closing and stuff like that. Just want to point to that. I always try to focus on industries, and definitely seeing that XRT going down. Bath and Body Works 5 below. Big charts just getting hit. Ali, Groupon. I don't think anybody uses Groupon anymore. Even GameStop getting hit today, and that tells me something. Target getting hit. I always like to look at like trends. This to me seems like a trend, right? XRT was one that I actually played in November through kind of the end of the year, which gave a good lift from the 60s. We got all the way up there, now starting to build kind of that topping action and really starting to decline in XRT. So that's definitely something that I'd put on the radar. Lulu is another one that stood out to me that's in this space, an apparel store that's really taking a hit and starting to come down.
Do you have news just came out?
On this, on those stocks?
No, on the, I see the Nasdaq is bouncing.
ISM,
yeah, ISM, 10 a.m., guys. 10 a.m. ISM. We're getting economic data to come in here. I'll take a look so I can go ahead and report it for you guys. I know I have it here somewhere. Where's my Benzinga Pro? Of course, shout out to Benzinga, of course. You guys want some news, want some action, get things in real time. Check them out, guys.
Knowledge selling in May and going away. That's his thoughts on the last chat there. Trader Life, TGTX fade. Yeah, I'm looking at that. Got it on. Just while Mitch checks out that news, got it on. Yeah, 1687.17. But yeah, if we get that drop here, I think I'll take a little entry on this as well.
All right, that ISM coming in here at 48.6. Consensus was 48.2. Also got JOLTS job openings for March, 8.488 million versus an 8.6 million estimate. So job openings coming down a little bit there. Definitely something to kind of keep a watch. We'll see what happens. Downside action in the market. Been seeing leaking. AMD also, the leak is on right now. It was strong. We'll see what happens. Let's see if it can come back. Definitely it's been hurt from the earnings. Probably now down to 738. That's how it is sometimes, man. You got to get quick in, quick out on that one. And if I didn't get out, got hit.
Yeah, perfect in, perfect out on that one.
Nari showing up. A lot of biotech showing up on my scanners. And so that tells me that, yeah, just keep if you're trading that type of space, especially it seems like to the long side right now, a lot of those stocks are doing well. That's something that like a trend that I like to pick up on, right? It's so important to try to pick up on the small trends, guys.
Similar with POAI here. This is sometimes if these stocks are going to go right, they don't do it until just before lunch, kind of, in about 25 minutes. They don't make it obvious that they're going to squeeze, quite obviously. So yeah, that's my first indication of that. Is this is apart from Pally and CTMX, which obviously we've seen the moves. This one's being very subtle on the tape. It's just little like POAIs being called out on me, and this one just tracking it up to see if we can hold these, because that's the key for me, is that these little swings keep holding these buy side pulls, and then if they fail before kind of 10:30, then I'm less interested in them holding in the buy. But so long as I keep, so that one there is just closing below here. If I hear the tape in this area, I'm kind of good to still think about getting a push back up on this one and it working out. But if we're below kind of 147 and close, then I'm not really interested in that. But being very subtle at the minute on the tape.
Looking around, team, trying to find some good plays today. Success is an interesting play, of course, leverage to the bear side on semiconductors, but something to keep on watch. Pfizer, it's interesting too. Nice little pullback. But that stock's been such a dog. It's hard to play it. Earnings were mentioned, of course, and what did they mention? They mentioned in their earnings that they're starting to see non-COVID revenue do better. I think that's interesting, right? They specifically wanted to tell you that it wasn't their COVID revenue that was doing better. And so I love to catch moments like that from companies. They moments like that where they like, I call it it's financial engineering, right? It's let's make this sound better than what it is, right? But hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. You got to catch those small things, especially on the earnings calls. That's where a lot of this talk will come.
Yeah, very nice job on SQ Cannoli. Take your money and run.
Yeah, Square, goodbye.
Interesting break on CTMX on the $4. High volume coming in right at the break, and big volume before that. It looks pretty good to the downside for me. I don't like it that I don't have a resistance in this area that's blocking it besides the $4, but it makes sense that we would see the drop, even if we'll take it below 3.6 or so with a stop loss at 4.2. That could be a nice trade to catch. Or the other option will be even better if it will go to my next level at 4.6 area. So that would be even better. What do you think about that, Scott?
I think it's a big wick. That's all I can say right now. Yeah, again, it's not the perfect area. It's still sitting on that
exactly
that 88 level, right? It's still that blue line that I put in there is. It's just kind of a next stop. It's not benchmark. It's just the next stop up there. That was your 470 level, wasn't it, Michael? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's like, well, we're going to get a flush here. It almost feels like it's worth it. But yeah, this is not a huge level for me. This is one that if it breaks 388 or 3, like it's gonna shoot through. But
yeah, exactly.
It's difficult. Although I haven't taken a trade this morning, so
it's time
I might
to
just sit it in case it gets time to click some buttons, I think.
Yeah. That's how it is, man. Just trying to be smart also over here. I'm trying to look for the next opportunity and letting the market play out also. Of course, it's a big day today, FOMC, right? We'll see what happens a little later today. Will Jerome Powell come and stomp? I call him the big bad wolf sometimes. He comes in and blows the market down, but we'll see. We'll see. Is the house made of brick? Is it going to be a wood house or a straw house today? I feel like this market's been a brick, right? It's been hard to move. It's been hard to shake. It's been hard to make even downside moves, and you could call it a retracement on the overall market. But overall, still for the year, we're still looking great. So we'll see. I think it's just what has been said: prolonged interest rates, no interest rates moving, continued talk about inflation needing to come down, and sustained inflation down, right? Comments like that we'll be watching from the FOMC later today.
On that, how far back does your data go, Mitch, on the Nasdaq or the SPY or something? Yeah,
mine goes pretty far back. I can take a look to see on daily charts. I can go back even further if I need to. What are you looking for?
I want to go back to 1987.
Oh, 1987.
I've seen the same. It's the same approach to the level that we saw in 1987. So if you take like the 6 months going into October 87, and take the 6 months or so that we're seeing going into this where we are now, it's almost identical. Identical. Even the little channel that we put in a few weeks before, for a couple of months before, we've got exactly the same.
Yeah, I have until 1990. Unfortunately, I think it went off of my birth date, so I don't know what happened there.
They've taken it all off. They don't want us to see that it's doing the same pattern. That's why.
Doesn't want you to see the 80s, man.
I'll see if I'll get it off my phone and.
But definitely seeing that downside action now coming into the Qs after that ISM number, right? AMD, is that still coming to the downside? Yeah, it's leaking a little bit. Well, Apple leak now. That's one thing that I'm watching. It is strong on the day. Let's see if that turns around. And then Amazon was also starting to come back, now starting to come right back down. So a lot of times I look at those down gap stocks, especially the earning ones, to see if they start just climbing back throughout the day. Instead, we're seeing leaking in those stocks. So that doesn't make me feel too happy about tech names today.
So CTMX should have flushed by now for me. Like if we're shorting that, I have just taken a position on here, and I want to kind of add if we get up to this 4, perhaps. But if it smashes through here, then I'll wait and see what your 470's got, Michael. But yeah, this for me on that kind of bar. On that increased volume, which means it did have sellers going into that level, that it should have really flushed by now. But
should have started pretty quickly after a nice move like this before. A new low on the SQ, nice one, Cannoli. And for those of you who took that with me, if you have enough shares, take that away, put that in your pocket. A nice move. Market dropping nicely.
Okay, so CTMX just tacked into that level now. That's I'd normally see that first level kind of reject rather than push all the way up through it. So if this doesn't reject, you're going to see some money flow coming in here.
All right. It's one of those days where I'm looking for a little bit of moves, and that tells me something, that there's just not an insane amount of momentum today. And that could be because of waiting for the FOMC, right? People not trying to make too many big calls today before they get an interest rate decision. So just keep your eyes out for that, guys. Of course, it's going to get hot around 2 o'clock and 2:30. Of course, 2 o'clock is when the press release is released, and then the fireworks come in the conference when everybody gets asked the questions.
Boom!
CTMX.
Hey, there you go.
Okay. It's a strong move to the resistance level.
You like that, Marco? You do. You don't like it trickling in there, do you?
I do like the move, but that's a strong one. Let's see. Did it halt? No, still running. Still running.
By about 30
You
seconds.
see that it's stopping in this area.
That looks like a halt to me.
You guys found a good one there.
That's a halt. That's a halt.
Yeah,
that's going to be a halt. Yeah. So now halt ups, on the other hand, people don't mind.
Yeah. My thing with halts at least has always been, and this has been since my early days, I don't mind one halt. I don't mind the second halt. I'm usually trying to sell before the third. On those big parabolic movers, I've seen just over time a pattern of that third halt being that scary one where you can get the next halt and then it's a halt down. That's where it gets really difficult, right? But this is when I also have hotkeys. And I think this is an important thing to kind of note, that you can be setting up hotkeys with trade the pool and trying to set up different things like this. What I would do back in the days is sometimes I would have a hotkey to sell on my average cost plus, let's say, 40 or 50 cents. Because sometimes you get into a move like this, it's a really quick mover, right? When you're going to get a like 50-cent pop. And sometimes it's going to be hard to put in that order, put in that like actual cost that you're trying to get out of. I can sometimes just hit that, control, whatever it could be, control F, boom. It puts out my sell order for me. And if I get a quick spike, I can just be able to take that profit off and then get out of the trade.
Right. So I want to know what everyone thinks here, Michael, Mitch, and the rest of the chat as well. Do we think, because I think you'll still work into this, Michael, if you had got in here, given that your level was 470, you wouldn't have kind of known at the point that it was getting halted or whatever. But I covered this trade because I heard it come on the tape, like powerful, like literally very, very loud. So I've like it audibly gets louder the more the volume comes in. So I didn't like it, so I covered it there. Do you think this is a good cover or a bad cover that I should be, given your level? What would you have done?
Oh, in your case, since like you said, you listened to the tape and heard that it's gonna pump, then definitely a good cover. Did you scale into that, or took it all in one chunk?
It was I would have. Yeah, I would have. It was. So I was looking to add. So price coming back here, and like I said, normally when it tacks into here, it just tacks the lower level and then comes off, and I'm good on that. That's what I like to see. This didn't. It was just pushing, and then I heard it on the tape, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna pump.
Yeah,
but
makes sense. And this is why I didn't take it in the first place, because it didn't, like you said, it didn't look like the right pattern to start dipping. Took it a while to get there. So, but let's see how it will start after this quick halt.
Yeah, so the halt was at 14 minutes past and 19 seconds. So I have a couple of minutes on that one.
Great, Scott. You're asking about the hotkeys for the trading platform. Just go to the Discord channel. We have a whole session for that, a whole section for that. Tutorials on the trading platform. So, and you can easily ask the guys, very active there, team and the rest of the team. So yeah, we got that.
All right. I'm looking at a short setup right now. I'm thinking about, it's on Root. I don't know too much about this company, so I don't know if you guys have traded it in the past, but it's come back on the day, pretty significant amount. Opening kind of went low, below 75s. The only problem with this one, and you got to be careful, right, is that the spread is pretty wide on a stock like this. So what I would do is I'd size in really slow to start a starting position and then see if I can get better average as I work in the position. So just got to understand the out and give myself room whenever I have a wide spread.
So Root has been on that scanner. It's got 6 times relative volume today, up there kind of with MYCB and TMDX, which have both got both in double digits on the relative volume there. So it's definitely got the volume on it today.
Yeah.
And you're thinking of working into a little short right now, yeah?
Exactly. I'm working into it because it's a spread. The spread's about close to $1. So that's where you got to be careful, right? Like you have to know how to trade this.
Look at that. The DMX. Returning from halt.
550. You said 550. Someone said Taquito 550. You've certainly got 550. You've halted again at 560.
Let's see the next one.
460. Hold on a minute. That can't be right. Oh, that was the resume. It's not halted. My bad. It's
What else do we got here? The close of the gap. What's that? 650. The close of the gap.
All right, I have some ladders out there to get that route to the short. I'll let you guys know if I get any fills. Okay, small fill there, really small. Only 3 shares right now en route. Just trying to build it up.
Nice.
Big thing is this thing can move like $10. So with that being said, I don't have to go too big.
TGTX play. Let's have a look. I took a starter on this at the kind of lack of momentum going up into that level, not achieving the sell side. So a lot of the time, if they don't come back, they don't, like, it's a sign they don't actually need it. It can see a stronger move to the downside, but at the minute, I've just kind of dropped right into that. Well, I'm in this from 1650. So yeah, it's kind of doing a similar pattern to what he'd done up there last time. It was at 1650, but yeah, I need to get through this. I need to get through this low down here, 1590s, to see some all day fade. Trade Life, you got this on all day fade watch. CTMX still climbing up there, retesting those highs right now. I've not got this on the tape. Not this time. IMCC is though. Let's have a quick look at IMCC. Oh yeah, okay. So that was just the just 2 calls on IMCC into sell side. That's the one it's got to get through. What have we got above? Oh no, so it's tucked into benchmark 2 already. Let's see how far that can get through.
Second fill for me. Just want to keep it going along.
What you got there, Mitch, on route?
So now I have average 84.84, only 6 shares short, but trying to keep adding it, right? And so my idea is to try to get to like 10, 20 shares, but slowly into here as it's a big spread. So there, I just got some more fill there. Now I can go ahead and just keep kind of laddering here, trying to get the best average. That's what I'm really trying to do here. And so now I have an average at 85.06. So feeling confident because it's only 9 shares there, right? I can give myself like $2 range on this right now, $2, $3. So that's the idea here, is slowly work it in. If it keeps getting resistance, the rejecting like a close above 86, especially the offer, like closing up there, that's what I'm watching right now. Because if it can wash back down, I feel like it could quickly go to 81 or 79.
Yeah, that's a crazy mover from $10 to 85 in 2 months, right?
I like it. This is one of those insane stocks. So be careful, but hey.
Market's just chopping overall at the moment. NQ, very choppy. Let's have a quick look. So the NQ adding a huge buy side pause. We've been working its way down there. Literally after each of these levels, still stepping down. So it's got into the lowest level there right now. There's a gap below. If it wants to break what would be 17,413.5. Could see a flush down to 17,350. But looking at it right now, it's just broken. So from that swing, moving from the lows today to the high of this session, at least below that buy side liquidity pool. So let's see if it's got any more downside on this.
Looking for 85 to add more on route. I'll let you guys know. Just working it up. Good to see you out there, JDs. What's up, man? How we doing? Good to see you found me. Get that money. Trader life. Pins and Snap has been strong all day, guys. Those are two relationships that have a tendency of working together. I don't know if you guys have been seeing that stock, but I'll give you guys a quick little Snap look. Haha, pun intended. But look at Snap on the 5-minute. Look at that. It's a pretty nice trend on the 5-minute. Pinterest. Nice little move there. All right. Getting after it. There's only one way, guys. Hit the like. What we get into? It's almost 10:30.
Oh, yeah. Didn't do that little segment, did we?
No worries. We're having a good time right now.
Yeah.
With different trades out there, and it's been one of those days. How's CTMX now doing?
CTMX is, let's have a quick look.
Trying to drop just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
So I like to see if it can, pull back to the resistance that it didn't stop, like 470 area, and maybe go long all the way up to the 650. So trying to catch it at around 470, 460, see that it's holding. If so, go long all the way up to break to a new high.
So you're looking for that 470 level that you was looking at earlier,
right?
To use it the other way, right?
Yeah, because it didn't do much, obviously, because of the halt. But if it will show some support, then that's what I'm aiming for, at least.
All right, guys, it's time for me to try to step on up here. So I'm going to look for another add to this position on route for short. I'll let you guys know how it starts to kind of build in here. See if we can start to break 84 and start coming back down.
So I've taken a long on POAI. Like I said, it cracked this level, but so long as this one held, if I heard the money come in, I've heard the money come in. It's going straight into an area, though, I do know that shorts like to come into. So it's still a case of whether this can continue to work up past. So I've got the two things going on here. One will be that color change. Oh, drawing over everything, yeah. One will be the color change that just occurred there from red to green at that level. And again, that is a sell side. So again, working like this at some point, if I hear the thing that I like on the buy side at a level, then I have to kind of anticipate that we're going to try and break the sell side level in that case to have another pop up. We'll see how that one works out. Also still in TGTX at the moment on the short. That's just working through. Not a lot of momentum on TGTX now.
Zakaria, for your question, you can definitely join in and trade the news, even on pre and after market. Obviously, there are some limitations for the risk. You cannot trade earnings, like hold it for the night on earnings, but other than that, it's pretty clear.
JD's on there looking at Hood. Working into a long there. Quick look on that lower time frame.
All right, guys. Now I have 12 shares of Root at 85.17. Still working my average up and just trying to work it in here.
What do you see there, Mitch?
One of the things that
spread?
I'm looking for is if I look here, a lot of times like we can kind of look at it in the way that I talked about earlier with kind of the rule of three a lot of the time. So you know, definitely back over 88.58, this starts to get hot. But the way that I think about it is that this washed out the gates right around this level, right? What I'm thinking happened is there was a big short probably put on, it kind of washed down. It got through that 75 level. They started covering through that 75 level. Now the stock has worked its way back up into that opening, kind of price, which I think is so important. Some traders don't look at that. Opening price here on this stock was 84.27. So would like to see that get rejected and it come right back down. So that's kind of the play. It's a rejection from the open, some covering, and then looking for the shorts to come back into this and knock it right back down.
Nice.
It's a harder play for sure. And then what I want to show on this is that you can still play stocks that have wider spreads on Trade the Pool. I know that some people don't kind of avoid these, but you just got to be more careful on how you go about it. That's what I'm doing here. That's why you don't see me doing like one share position where I'm just like all my shares are in one spot. No, I kind of laddered in, and that's helping me get around some of that big spread. Put on MSOS, get after it. Hey, if you feel like that's coming down, get after it, man. I'll never be mad if you guys take the opposite position of me. That's one thing for certain. We're all traders here trying to make decisions. We want to support each other, and at the end of the day, we're all trying to get to success. But if you guys want to go against and do like a put on one of my positions, by all means, I'm never going to be looking mad at you. You guys are here to make money. I think that's what we're all here to do, and keep battling. Let's get after it. Slippage can hurt 100%. That's why the sizing is small, right? Like, you know, it's not like I'm 100 shares. I'm 12 shares deep here, guys.
Yeah. So that's a great point because especially when it comes to trading those stocks with big spreads, you need to take that into consideration basically and think about the risk with the slippage that you will get if it won't go to your favor, and also try to work with limit orders and not just market orders if you're going into those spreads.
100%, and that's how I've gotten my average at what 85.17.
Nice.
The stock is trading right now, even on the offer, at 85.26. So really not bad in the average, right? So you have to work it though. I put orders out like, let's say 50, 60 cents wide, so that it kind of helps me in that sense. And also, I think what this also shows, and I think it's a very important thing, is that, you know, if you're too focused on the execution fees, that can actually sometimes be a negative. I'm not worried about taking, 75 cents off of this trade because I want more orders to go through, right? And I think that that's something that sometimes gets lost. Traders think, well, I need to put all my order size in one bang so I don't get the bigger fee. But the truth is I'm looking to actually ladder in here. How's the overall market looking, guys? We're still on the leak.
Yeah, kind of flat.
Yeah, a little push down.
Yeah,
still working through that zone.
Seems like it's not the highest move to the upside, and second day in a row that energy leads down. So I don't know what's going on in oil. I haven't taken a look at WTI in a while. That's normally what I look at, but definitely something's going on in oil that has kind of shaken things up. Look at XOM. That's coming down fast. And that was doing good on Monday. So that just goes to show you how quickly things can change. Look at Chevron, quick downside move. And for those defensive plays that were just starting to get a little bit of a lift, some value plays, smack down also right back down. So overall, not the best bullish day in the overall market. Utilities, financial services, and healthcare kind of on the upside. Utilities is somewhere where I see something like, I'll show you guys this sector, because like you see this long trend line. I love like when I see long trend lines start to break. Now it's just kind of, can these utilities kind of hold? So XLU is one way to play the ETFs, or like I've mentioned, Duke, Nextera Energy, stocks like that on the radar.
Got everything on the tape on the Mag 7, and hence, oh, there we go. There's that push. So literally, that was the very low, failed this buy side, and then we've just got the like literally Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, everything just flashed up, and up we go.
Coming after it, guys. Now 15 shares, 84.99. And so that first downside action, this wick right here, is what's giving me confidence. And I think it's an important thing to note sometimes when this action usually happens fast. So selling pressure into that 86. So now I know if it gets back above that high, I probably just want out of that trade. So now I can try to tackle it down through the 84, and then we can really start to see this kind of fade off of that. Above 86 close, I know I need to get out. That Pally just kind of died off, man. That definitely died off there.
That's what they do, you know, pumping them.
Yeah. That's why you got to be quick with some of these, man. And sometimes I take the approach of the small size and going after these. Sometimes I take the approach of the large size and being quick to the trade. There's so many different ways, like they say, to skin a cat, right? I mean, that's the truth. You got to find what works for you and your personality, right? I think that's what depends a lot on this. Some people like the fast trade. Some people like the slow and methodical trade.
Yeah. Still watching CTMX, high volume coming in.
Definitely, if you're new to the show, guys, just look down below on YouTube. You see that subscribe button? You see how it lights up when I mention it? Hit that like button, hit the subscribe. We'll be with you guys Monday through Wednesday. And on Thursday and Friday, take a look at my Twitter. I'm still going to be putting out a watch list for you guys to continue trading. You guys can always hit me up if you guys have any questions, trade the pool questions. Let me know. I'm here to help you guys also. This route was going to be an interesting one, man. If it can really start breaking towards like that 82, I can just kind of let this one ride and see if it gets back down to 74. This could be one of those where it's tough at first, but then it really starts working for you, right? The fast trades. Movers. Michael's like, yeah, those trades are the reason why you don't see a big afro on my head right now.
So many trades of those, so many nights. Sleepless night.
Yeah, some day traders don't like swing trading because they don't want to go to sleep with a trade. But you know, I'm like the opposite. I don't want to be in 10,000 shares in any position. So it's kind of hard, right? I mean, you got to find what works for you. It's crazy out there how some traders can do it. And I'll be honest, some traders are really good at that scalping game.
Now CTMX is on.
Wilson took a short on STMX, SNTX.
Nice. I kind of like that approach now that you got that blow off top over above 5. So I don't do many of these shorts on these penny names, but that's an interesting candle here, right? Where you got that kind of blow off kind of candle where it like really shoots really fast, traps a lot of buyers, and then the washout comes, right? You have to be watching the tape a lot of the times to kind of read these kind of moves. So it's definitely more of an advanced play. And so for those beginners, you can understand that this isn't the easiest trade. But I think that right there gives you a good sign where you get that blow off top, quick washing action. Now what do you have? You have a bunch of people probably hitting that sell button and actually helping the shorts as it starts to go away.
And Wilson, that's my go-to, right? It's not at my level. If it was down here, that's exactly what I want to see. But that's the one where it just pumps into that and immediately rejects off. I love that. Nice one, Wilson.
It's literally that play, Scott. I love that you bring those liquidity pools because that's what it probably is. Let's be honest. When it ran into that level right there, big liquidity there, runs into a wall, and then technical levels come in as it starts to wash through 5, right? The traders start to get scared. They're like, whoa, what just happened? It was looking great. It was looking like $6 was coming to like in the next couple of seconds, and then boom, back down.
Yeah. Let's see what it's got. TGTX. So this is where I need it to crack this 90s level. Yeah, there'll be a few buyers there that have just got stopped on that one, I think. Let's see what we've got. I really do need that to crack 1590 right now. POAI. So I took this one long, like I said previously in the where am I long from on this? Over at 760. No, that's the wrong ticker. That's 164. So working off of that most recent level that we've gone into there, like I said, trying to anticipate the sell side cracking and pushing up. Let's just see where the VWAP is on this while I'm here. Right at it. Okay, so we're right at the VWAP now. Let's give it a sec. Got to be higher than that, unfortunately. We'll
All right, going to add to my swing here in MSOS. I've been waiting for an ad near 10:05. Didn't get that ad right there on that one. It went to 10:08, so I'm going to look to put something in at like 10:15, 10:20s, and then start trying to work my way into this position.
Okay, I actually took a long on CTMX. I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, you got to go with what you see. Let us know what you see, Michael.
Right? So we've reached that level. We reached that level of support, the 470 area that it didn't hold at the beginning. Right now, it's playing with it. Hopefully, 450 will be the lowest that we will see, and then a bounce up. If it will bounce, then I'll add more. But yeah, not a big stop here. I won't go into all the adding to the position, and also I started with 900 shares. If it will break through the 475, 480, I will add more. If not, covering roughly with 20 cents below or so.
All right, root me. Root me, man. I'm rooted in this stock. Let's just say that much.
That's nice, man.
It's got me planted, man. I just need some lights or something. I'm trying to be
great
mean
slogan.
to this plant. I'm rooted in this.
I'm going to use that. You know what? I'm writing it down here. You're going to see a shirt saying, "I'm rooted."
You can't do that.
Pray the
pool. Oh dear.
All right, we'll see what happens on that CTMX. And then Pally's just been hanging out, guys. I'm going to put an alert on that for later today. Sometimes I'll just put alerts like on price action just to see if it comes back. That could come back through 8 the way it's building off the bottom. Sometimes you can get like just all of a sudden a big buyer to shake that back up. So I wouldn't even touch it unless it starts to really show me signs of turn and big volume coming back into the name.
I've touched it, man. I've touched it.
Can't blame you. TGTX is another one that's interesting. That's been building off the 16 level.
So and I'm short that as well.
It's at least just right off that level.
I
You know what I
totally
mean?
agree with you, though. Yeah, totally agree.
I'm
with
sure
you.
that's a level you're looking at. Like,
It is. I've got
when will
it.
it break, man?
I know.
16.
Yeah, break already. Yeah, that's it.
Hold on, I'll go flush the toilet right quick.
Yeah, I'm playing with a stock with one of the highest relative volumes of today, and it won't budge. So keeping it tight on here.
All right.
Kind of quiet day. I guess everyone is waiting for the FOMC, right?
Yeah, everyone's watching Jerome Powell, trying to follow him.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get after Jerome Powell.
Mhm.
The big bad wolf, man.
He's got quite a dry sense of humor, that fella. When you listen to him, sometimes I don't make a habit of it, but when I have listened to him, he's got quite a dry sense of humor.
Yeah, it's fun to always hear that conversation. TMDX medical device company in the hundreds. It's actually doing pretty well. Starting to show up on the scanners here. So just want to point to that. Another thing to kind of sometimes that I look at is like, so it doesn't really make the most sense right now, but a lot of times just looking at the sectors and what's up, maybe trying to trade what's up in those sectors, right? So like utilities is up today, financials is up today, healthcare is up today. So I could look at the healthcare area and look to see what's up in the industries. What shows me is biotech. Look at this chart right here. Look how it's starting to wake up again. So things like that, I want to kind of be in, right? Because at the end of the day, if that's where the volume, the price is flowing, that's probably also an area that I can look for to try to find some edge, right? And that's why I'm mentioning Pally is still in the radar, because it's part of the biotechs, and CTMX, part of the biotechs, right? So like that's the important part there, and kind of noting that. And then you can look at other areas. What is also doing well? Medical care companies, right? We saw THC yesterday showing up. Medical care company. You see how it's having another good day. Day number 2. So you see day 1, day 2. This is what I always like to catch, guys. If I can catch these little trends in different areas, that can help you find a play. CYH goes with THC a lot of the times. It's a smaller play. Community health systems.
CTMX continued to drop, so I'm about to hit my stop loss. I got it at 423. Looks like it's going down, but let's see. So 423. Waiting with my stop loss in. Nice bounce.
Looking at a pullback play, potentially Pfizer here. I know I made fun of it earlier, but I might just do the day trade on it at the 26.25 level. Just a little bit rooted.
Don't start again.
Oh, there we go. There we go, Root. There we go. Now we're blinking a little bit here.
Yeah,
All
nice.
right, now it's time to start the adding process, which is even harder than the entry process, right? I think that sometimes people think that the entry process is the hard part. The adding part is hard for me sometimes. So now where would I want to add? I'm going to actually look back at my first original position. Where did I get in originally? So my first sell on this was at 84.70. So I'm going to give myself 84 at least 70 on moves back for ads. If I start chasing into the 83s, that's easily how I ruin this hard work that I just put in. So we'll see what happens. Bounces, I can add. Flushes, I can take profits. We'll see what happens here. Boogie woogie. The boogie woogie. It's one of those days, guys. Definitely hit that like button, hit the share button. I want to get some more traders in here. So if you guys have trading friends, please let them know all about this stream, right? It's completely free for you guys to jump in here, learn from us, take a look at the experience. And like always, if you guys have catalysts, stocks you guys want to check out, strategies, reach out to us. We will definitely make sure that we cover it, even during the show. That's the number one way you can help us, guys. Hit that share button. Who knows? Maybe someone that you never expected might just want to get into trading because you're being able to show them a transparent stream that can help them move forward. Visa showing up there. I'm looking around, guys. I'm trying to find some good moves on the day. Some biotechs. Not looking too bad here. Johnson & Johnson, man, will they ever get through their talc problem?
That is a problem for Johnson & Johnson. If they have a problem with that and oil, they're screwed.
It's like every time I see it, it's just like, oh, another lawsuit for another $600 million. It's like, holy moly, dude. How are you guys still alive?
Yeah, definitely some companies, it's time to vanish or kill them.
Yeah, right? It's like
too old.
And I'm in agreement, right, of like capitalism. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, let the best survive, let the worst fall out, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's based on performance, guys. We got to actually perform to stay around. Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, those names are kind of in the past now.
Mm-hmm.
Trader Life, TGTX, I am 50 cents. 50 cents positive. I'm trying to get a crack of that. You still had tiny size as well, Wilson. Nice one, yeah. Good. Yeah, I'm still waiting for this. See if I can get this crack out of 90. I think this is the last chance I will give it, given the time of day. But we'll see. You've said that every day this week on a stock that you've been in, and I look back at it, and it's about $6 down at the end of the day. So, yeah, just hanging on in there for a minute on TGTX.
Just added to my MSOS swing, guys. I have 1027.30 shares. So working on that. I'll let you guys know as that keeps going. And I'm just going to keep working on that. The way I look at it, a lot of times cannabis stocks, they get like hourly pullbacks out the gates, and somewhere near the afternoon, they start to come back. So that's what I'll be looking for.
Great, Scott. Appreciating you there en route, Mitch.
There you go. Looks like I wasn't the only one that got rooted. Going to Home Depot after this, man. They owe me some money. That time of year, guys. Get those crops out the ground. Woohoo! CGC down big too. That's one that I could go after for the comeback. With Tilray down big too, towards the $2. So a lot of times, what happens? Day traders start heading out the window, right when we head out the window too, right around 11, right 10 o'clock. So I'm going to be watching for some lunch moves. Who knows? Might be trying to take some lunch from some people out there. Sometimes you got to be the bully at the park, right? So you got to be watching in the afternoon. I always say you got to know those great lunch spots in New York by the New York Stock Exchange, because sometimes I'm like, man, did all these guys go to lunch at the same spot, same place? Because it seems like they knew something I didn't know. We'll find out later today. FOMC coming to you guys. Don't miss that. 2 p.m. It's going to be some fireworks. 2:30 conference. Definitely tune in for that. You guys can go to the Fed website. And in the future, I'm going to be looking to also get those streams on for you guys to just maybe tune in, and we can maybe just hang out in the chat and just talk about what Jerome's saying, the big bad wolf. We'll find out later today. Wilson, I'm right now in North Carolina and soon to be going to Florida. So who knows? Maybe we can do a little bit of some trader meetup for all our US, maybe in Orlando. Who knows? Stay tuned for that. If you guys are ever interested or thinking about reaching out to me, feel free, guys. I'm always making new trading friends to talk about trading, talk about stocks. It's always good to have some friends in the trading space. All right, guys. Do you guys want to get towards our recap? It's 10:55. Only got 5 minutes left here.
Yeah, let's recap.
All right, let's get after it here.
All right.
Right. Scott, you want to go first here?
Yeah, so I'm currently long POAI, and that is still, well, it's coming back on me now. Like I said, I had to anticipate that break of that sell side, but I'm currently in that at the minute. Let's bring that over. I can grab the chart back. Where's it gone? There we go. So that's Pally at the moment. That was POAI, my bad. Starts with the same letter. There we go. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to be good with POAI until we can't break this 150 area, basically. So I'm hoping this is going to get a kind of push up into. I've still got that 260 on there, so looking for a bit of a squeeze on POAI. CTMX. Yeah, short on CTMX, literally from the flush bar. Come back. Yeah, so looking for that to just get a little bit lower, so into that 398 area, just above there for that target on CTMX for me. And then I've got TGTX, which I'm still trying to break that 1590 area. So I'm just going to hang on in there just for a little bit more, unless I see a push up. But at the minute, that is what I have. I'll Pally as well. Pally, I'm long. Similar thing to POAI. Again, working off that base. I think you mentioned that before as well, Mitch. There, I'm working off that base to see if we can't get another squeeze going into this kind of time when those small caps like to do it. Mitch, what you got?
All right, let's get to it. I'm going to show you guys here. Let's go to Pally here and talk about the first trade. This is not a bad one at all, right, guys? We were talking about this one in pre-market, looking for the setup for another washout opening move, kind of the red to green move, right? Talked about often this trade, right? And so you guys can see there with 50 shares, right, getting in there at the 798 as we came down to support, looking for an 8 recovery. Get a little bit of that scare moment here when it was at the 760s, but it recovered right back through the 8. That was the sign of confidence. Once we got through 8, I would look for 8 to hold. We got up here towards like kind of the 830s, 840 area. Then on this candle, what did it do? It went right back to 790, but closed at 816. So that's a lot of what we want to see. The next candle going to our low of 802, holding that 8. Now we're starting to see body closes above 8. Strength came in. As we went to that, started selling some at the first resistance here, and then look for the left, right? Where's my left next resistance. Next resistance is somewhere near in that 9 range. So as we came up towards that level, that's why I sold the next little piece there. If let's say I had 100, yeah, maybe I could have done a fourth, and kept the half for the big move, and then the rest break even. But since I only had that 50 here, I sold it right into that move, and it was a good thing as it came back down towards my entry, right? Back below the 798s. So good trade there in Pally, not a bad move. And then, of course, I do have swing trades on in MSOS, and I also have Root. So Root is one that I'm battling with. You guys can see here my entries and how I battled at it, right? I think this is the important thing. Look how the entries are near what? The resistance. Even though I'm on the short side, I'm waiting for the offer and the bid to move up and hitting that, right? So you can see how many orders I did. I did 4 orders there. 84.97, 85.49, 85.50, 84.30, trying to help myself with that spread, right? We'll see what happens there in Root. If it can come back down towards the 75s, that's a potential $10 profit outlook for a $2 risk. So what is that seeming like? That's a 5-to-1 outlook. I talk about it all the time. Profit to loss ratio, so vital to trying to stay success in trading. That's going to do it for my outlook. Of course, you guys can keep up with me on Thursday and Friday at MoneyMitch_TTP. Of course, guys, give me a follow. Check it out.
Let's go, Mitch. So I got 2 trades here, still running, battling actually. So one is, actually, I just got out of CTMX. So he took me out with 2 chunks. I added just a tiny bit more and now got me out the long side. We'll see that in a second on the charts and analyze that. And besides that, I still hold in SQ to the downside. It was a very nice trade, or at least it moved very nicely. But again, I only took 200 shares at first, so I couldn't cover, although it made like a $1.50 or so. Then added again here, still waiting maybe for it to reach the 66 again, and maybe then I'll cover or at least add a little bit more. On CTMX, I guess the first one we missed, the first short, it was kind of nice, reached the 3.5. I wanted it to see 3.6. It actually went down, broke through that resistance. I started to buy here on support. It held it for a second, added a little bit more here, and then as you can see, it moved against me. And on SQ, the idea was quite simple in that regard, because like I said many times, when it opens below the 200 EMAs, you will usually see another flash down. It basically gave you like a, we can call it head and shoulder or something, pop up, broke down, consolidate, continue to the downside, reach that support level, and then as the market reverse, the SQ reversed as well. So we'll see if the market can continue to the downside, and then probably we will see SQ dropping down as well. I looked at Starbucks, but didn't do much there. And Nasdaq, I'm in the Nasdaq from the morning, right at the average price right now, so like $200 in. So still playing with that. Hopefully it will drop nicely or better to that support level. Obviously it won't happen today unless Jerome Powell will surprise us all.
You never know. You never know. And also be careful with kind of stops in when Jerome's speaking. Sometimes you can get these massive like spreads that all of a sudden happen and you can get triggered, right? I'm always looking out for traders out there and trying to teach you guys from prior experiences that happened to me, right? Let's say I was just needed to take a moment away. I set a tight stop. And all of a sudden, when Jerome comes on, the spread kind of stops me out. The stock goes in my direction. I'm upset with the market, but really, I should be upset with myself because I set that stop, didn't think about what could happen when Jerome was speaking, right? So we always got to catch those moments and learn from our mistakes.
Righty.
Oh, good. TGTX broke 90, so I'm good with that. I didn't want to take that any further into the day if I didn't have to, so I'm happy with that on TGTX. Just a quick one there, Mitch. Just Great Scott looking to see where your stop is on route.
Got you. On the route right now, it would have to kind of clear the closes of the 86.50 range. So close back above 86.50 and get out at 87 to give the spread a little bit of space. But 87's that out. Why? Like I talked about earlier, what did I say? And I always want you guys to keep me to what I say, right? I said 5-to-1 outlook. I said $2 of risk for potentially $10 reward, right? So my entry right now, 85.05, $2 risk, 87.05. Now you guys know the exact outlook. That's what I'm always going to give to you guys, the full transparency so that you guys can learn from my experience. Hope you guys enjoyed me joining the show this week. Stay tuned, of course. There's more action this week. And always reach out to us on the Discord. Discord is definitely active tonight. We have some great things going on in the Discord. Don't miss out, guys. 4:15, the Discord, they're going to be doing a deep dive into balance sheets, primarily ADM, since it came up yesterday, led by Tamara. So don't miss that, guys. Definitely later today on the Discord. If you're not in your Discord, please join up. We'll see you next time.
Take care, guys. Thanks so much.
See you Monday.
Bye.